United and City have had the best starts. Will we see a Jose versus Pep battle for the title this season? What happened last season? After the arrival of Jose Mourinho and Pep Guardiola, last summer, at Manchester United and Manchester City, respectively, there were massive expectations amongst all. These two had famously clashed in Spain with Real Madrid and Barcelona, and the battles did not just stay on the pitch and went beyond it several times. Once it had been confirmed that these two were signed up as the managers of the two big city rivals, many were hoping for a reprise of their battle for supremacy in English shores. This time around. However, if anything, it turned out to be a damp squid. Manchester United finished a lowly 6th and had a season of mixed fortunes, winning two major trophies, EFL Cup and Europa League, second of which helped them secure Champions League qualification. Mourinho made four major signings in the form of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Eric Bailly, Henrikh Mkhitaryan, and Paul Pogba. After a lot of talk of a title challenge started brewing in Old Trafford for the first time after the Fergie era, the league campaign just petered out disappointingly. Although Mourinho will probably not openly admit it, he will know that he had fallen well short of the early season expectations. On the other hand, Manchester City did manage to finish in the top four by finishing third, but they were kicked out of the title race before the season got to its business end. Guardiola, after having spent close to £180 million, failed to ignite a title challenge and surrendered under pressure to a youthful Monaco side in the round of 16 in the Champions League. Manchester City did start off brilliantly but were inconsistent over the entire campaign. They played some beautiful football and Guardiola started implementing his methods as the season progressed. But they did not win any silverware, and the Arab bigwigs who own the club would certainly not have expected that after Guardiola's appointment was greeted with a lot of fanfare. In short, last season didn't quite pan out the way it was expected for both clubs. How has the season started off for both these clubs? Both Manchester United and Manchester City have started the new season on a high. Manchester United have been very dominant in most of the games and have had 3 4-0 wins, so far. They have shown a knack for scoring late goals, something very reminiscent of the Fergie era. They have scored 16 goals in the Premier League, and out of those, 9 goals have come in the last 10 minutes of games. Apart from the small blip away at Stoke City, where they drew 2-2 because of a couple of individual mistakes, they have been supremely clinical and very dominant in most phases of games. Having scored only 54 goals last season in the league, Mourinho went out and got Romelu Lukaku, who has already scored 5 goals in the league. Henrikh Mkhitaryan has assisted 5 and scored 1 and has had a great start to the season. Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford have both started the season in scintillating form and have been crucial in providing support to Lukaku. Paul Pogba, along with Nemanja Matic, who has arguably been the signing of the summer, has been great to watch, and although the Frenchman's injury will be a cause of concern to Mourinho, he will believe he has enough quality players in the squad to make sure his absence is not felt. The defense has always been solid since Mourinho's arrival, and with one of the best goalkeepers in the world in David De Gea, things are looking sprightly in the red half of Manchester. It is not too shabby at the other half of Manchester, either. They are on top of the league, albeit by alphabetical order ahead of their city rivals, with both sides scoring and conceding the same number of goals and having the same number of points. The goal difference of +14 of these Manchester clubs is well ahead of anyone in the chasing pack. Manchester City have been playing what you could call total football from the Cruyff sides. This isn't very surprising, as Guardiola is one of Johan Cruyff's famous protégés. They won pretty easily at Brighton on the opening day before being held to a 1-1 draw by Everton after Kyle Walker got sent off. They came back from behind to win at Bournemouth in the dying embers of the game, and since then they have comprehensively beaten Liverpool and Watford 5-0 and 6-0, respectively. In the past week alone, taking into account their Champions League game away at Feyenoord during midweek, they have scored 15 goals and conceded none, in 3 games. Guardiola has found a way to play Sergio Aguero and Gabriel Jesus together, and both look to be in sumptuous form. Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva have shown their class by pulling strings from midfield, playing as a pair of number 8s in front of the ever-dependent Fernandinho. The likes of Raheem Sterling, Bernardo Silva and Leroy Sane have also been impactful whenever called upon.